So last week we talked a lot about futuristic technologies such as Hyperloop, boring tunnels and flying air taxis, but this week we're going full EV again. So first of all, we want to talk about the fascinating announcement of a China-based Tesla design studio and what a China-designed Tesla might actually look like. We actually think we already know on which car it will probably be based. And then also some news on Tesla Gigafactory 4, because it seems to be really happening.
Well, on the topic of Tesla, the current Tesla stock rally even converts Ultra Tesla bears to Uber Tesla bulls. Then a bit on some interesting electric cars from CES. For example, Faraday Future, the company that had already died like 1,000 times. Then a surprise by Sony, and also a bit on the Fisker Ocean. And lastly, the insane progress with regard to electric cars in China, with lots of taxis there being currently switched to full electric. There's a lot going on in the world of electric cars, so stay tuned.
So last week Elon was in Shanghai to celebrate the first deliveries of the Model 3 to regular customers and also to celebrate the start of the Model Y program. Elon was really happy on that day and showed us some highly fascinating dance moves, which we'll certainly incorporate into our dance move arsenal for the next time we go to a disco. And while these are awesome news, first and foremost of course that the Model Y will enter production so much sooner than initially planned, the really amazing news was this one here.
China Design and Engineering Center to actually design an original car in China for worldwide consumption. You know, try something just like kind of radical, you know, like Cybertruck, you know. Nobody's expecting that. Like, try to do something just like, you know, like it's cool and different and something the world hasn't seen before.
So Elon plans on creating a China-based Tesla design studio where they will design and build a Tesla for worldwide export. So not only for the Chinese market, but really design a car, a Tesla from ground up in this design studio in China for worldwide consumption. And what certainly clanged like music to our ears was that he said that we can again expect a quite radical design. So then what can we expect from such a car? Like a radical design? Will it be ultra futuristic and insane looking like the Cybertruck? Fortunately, we have already some clues. So not long ago, Elon did an interview with MKBHD and he said that he would want to build a $25,000 car within 2 to 3 years. And the car would be even a bit smaller than the Model 3, so it would be the entry-level Tesla for an even bigger market. And as we know, it's quite cheap to build stuff in China, so a $25,000 car, if it can be built somewhere, then in China. Now as for the radical design, of course it could be another cyber type of car with the same design language as the Cybertruck. So it could be the second in line of a cyber family of new Teslas. Cybertruck having been the first one in the line of these cyber vehicles, then a cyber, let's call it Model 2, and then afterwards maybe a cyber Model S, and so on and so forth. Or maybe a completely different design, not based on the Cybertruck design language, but maybe something like the Tesla Model 0 concept designed by Sahm Jafari, the designer of the Cybertruck himself. Now fascinatingly, Sam wrote a few months ago on the Model 0, the Model 0 is a car that slots under the Model 3 with the goal of making the electric lifestyle accessible to all. The Model 0 strengthens the brand image towards the entry-level market and opens up the doors to sustainable commuting to nearly anyone looking to get into a new vehicle. So we didn't make this up, this is really exactly what Sahm Jafari wrote last year to Electrek in order to describe his rationale behind the Tesla Model 0. Now just imagine for a second a $25,000 car with such a radically futuristic design. This would hit like a bomb.
It would be an absolute game changer, ladies and gentlemen. Not only would the extremely nice and futuristic design attract many people in itself, especially many younger customers, But also we can of course expect the insane Tesla range and acceleration figures. The top version probably will go as high up as 50k. Certainly with at least 500 to 600 kilometers of range and with 3 seconds, maximum 4 seconds to 60 mph or 100 kph acceleration figures. If our theory is indeed correct, then this car will be a real game changer for electric cars, opening up electric cars to a completely new potential customer base. And when can we actually buy this car? We think that in 2 years we might see it unveiled to the world and a release probably in 3 years. We really can't wait! Now while on the topic of China, you might ask, why Jixuan and Sebastian are you talking so much of China? And no, we are not sponsored by the Chinese Communist Party, okay? These were freaking jokes. Jokes! We talk so much about China because, like it or not, a lot is happening there with regard to new technologies. Be it advanced architecture, be it spaceflight, be it flying cars, or of course be it electric cars. And the Chinese government is investing like crazy into renewable energies in order to solve their air pollution problems. They're really putting a lot of effort behind it and are building gigantic solar and wind farms at record speeds. And they are switching to electric buses and electric taxis all over in China. When we were in Shenzhen 1.5 years ago, another cyberpunk city by the way, almost all taxis and buses there were already electric. And now they are planning to do the same in Beijing. Now there are already 6,000 electric taxis in Beijing, with plans to have over 20,000 by the end of 2020. 90 battery swap stations have been built in the second half of 2019 alone, and they plan to have at least 104 more in 2020. Those battery swap stations are 24/7 open, fully automated. The battery swap itself taking only 90 seconds, with an overall in and out time of 3 minutes. This is freaking faster than refueling at a gas station. The taxi drivers there are quite happy and report to earn 1,500 RMB more per month due to the fast battery swap procedure. And they are of course reducing air pollution at the same time. So while the electric car adoption in the West is happening extremely slowly, except for wonderful exceptions such as the Netherlands and Norway, China is going full renewable and sustainable like a berserk. The US can be extremely thankful to have Elon and Tesla. So let's hope that the US will take some actions. Otherwise, the US will be totally left behind in the race to become the renewable energy world power.
Okay, now a bit on Gigafactory 4. Back to the Germans, jawohl. Well, so now we have the approval of the Brandenburg State Committee for the deal to purchase the land where Gigafactory 4 would be built, and the price is an absolute bargain. 40.91 million euros for a 300-acre property. That's just 13.5 euros per square meter. That's 1/3 of the normal price of the surrounding property. But hey, don't get your hopes up too high, because after all, we're talking about Germany here. And believe us, we've experienced firsthand quite a few times how awesome German bureaucracy is. Now it appears that some berserk environmentalist groups are trying to throw bricks into Tesla's way wherever they can, because there apparently are some bats hibernating in the trees there. Yes, you heard that right, there are bats hibernating in the trees there. Oh, and also ants, how could I forget the ants? So of course Tesla is not allowed to simply mow down the trees, but the bats and the ants will have to be relocated. But since the bats are hibernating over winter, this will be quite a difficult undertaking, potentially delaying the building start by a few months. That's, by the way, a reason why Tesla has left itself a backdoor open to cancel the deal if it should get delayed for too long. Now we just hope that German authorities are for once not stupid enough to destroy this amazing opportunity for the economy of Germany and for technological progress. Now believe us, the cliché of the German Angst, it exists. It is a real thing. That's, by the way, why technological progress and innovation these days is not happening in Germany anymore. So let's pray that Tesla will be allowed to start building the Gigafactory 4 at least in parts where there are no bats or ants or whatever creatures they will come up next with.
And meanwhile, the Tesla stock is hitting almost $500 per share. Even totally die-hard year-long critics of Tesla are now apparently taking a 180-degree turn, suddenly becoming Tesla bulls. Bob Lutz is such an example. This guy was denouncing and hating on Tesla in every interview, whenever or wherever he got a chance. But now suddenly, he appeared to have changed his mind and said, Tesla is finally being run like a normal business, and some other stuff which is equally stupid. So when Tesla was at $180 because of a gigantic anti-Tesla fat media campaign in June last year, Bob Lutz hated on Tesla wherever he could. But now suddenly Tesla is awesome because the stock price is high. That just shows how stupid some people are, basing their opinions only on the current valuation of a company. The company is super awesome and the best when the stock is high, but really, really bad when the stock is low. This is basically the opposite of what you should do if you want to make some money in the stock market. This makes me so angry. How can people be so stupid? How can people be so stupid? Oh, oh, oh. I'm so hungry.
What have you done, Bob Lutz? What have you done? You've brought forth the She-Hulk. And now a bit about the CES 2020 in Las Vegas, because there were a lot of interesting electric cars there. For example, Faraday Future was also there, which in our opinion should be rebranded to Faraday Dying. They showed off their FF91 complete with finished interior. Now we of course know since years now that the exterior is really cool and futuristic, but we have to say the interior is also quite nice. However, the central screen is a bit too Tesla copycat in our opinion. But then again, the airplane business class style back seats are quite amazing. Now it is said that the car will have a very good Tesla type acceleration and range, at least that's what they say, so we'll believe it when we see it. And there hasn't been strangely any word on pricing yet. And we think we know why, because there are already rumors floating around since a few years now that the Faraday Future FF91 will cost far above $100,000, maybe even $200,000. If this is really true, then the Faraday Future FF91 will be dead on arrival. And Faraday Future will continue to do what they can do best: dying. Now then, there was also a lot of buzz about the revelation of the Sony electric car. We have to say we really don't understand why there's so much buzz around this car, because after all it's a concept car and will likely never be produced. Now while it's certainly a nice surprise to see Sony thinking about getting into the EV game, we'd have hoped they would at least be earnest and not just show us a concept car. Try harder, Sony, try harder. Show us a real production car next time, okay? Then we might actually also be amazed. At least better than Mercedes, who showed off this outlandish avatar, I don't know what, Mercedes concept car, which again never will be built. Like the legacy automakers love doing this shit. They show us super insane futuristic cars, which they never built. Stop it already, stop it. Do it like Tesla, show us the Cybertruck, which then will also be built, you know, that's how you do it, Mercedes, that's how you do it, like Tesla does it. They show us the Cybertruck with a radical and futuristic design, which then they will actually produce, that's the way how you do it, Mercedes, that's the way how you do it, okay? Yes? Sorry, that topic every time annoys me. Legacy automakers showing us super cool futuristic concept cars which they never will produce. That's why they are dying, by the way. That's why they are going downhill all the time. While Tesla and new innovative startups are going uphill.
And then Fisker. We never talked about Fisker yet. You know, the company that brought out the wannabe Model S competitor, the Fisker Karma back in the day, before they put a Faraday Future on us. Now they are back with the Fisker Ocean. And while the details on this car are quite rare, the pricing has already been revealed to be starting at 37.5K, a bit cheaper than the Model Y. However, production of course won't start until 2021, so let's be realistic, 2022, when the Model Y will have been already out for 1.5 years. At least the design is certainly quite cool. So let's see if they will be really able to produce this car. Or will it turn out to be another vaporware electric car company? So what do you think about this new China-based Tesla design studio? A radically designed cheap Tesla for worldwide export would be awesome, right?
It would be amazing.
And be sure to tell us in the comments if you think this car would be more based on the Cybertruck design or would be more based on the Model Zero design.
And don't get us even started on German bureaucracy and insane environmentalist groups that want to delay Tesla's Gigafactory progress as long as possible. What do you think? Will Tesla be able to start building soon, or will they be delayed by I don't know how long?
Please no delay.
Yeah, please no delay. So be sure to subscribe and turn on that famous notification bell, because we upload twice a week on topics of spaceflight, electric cars and other disruptive technologies.
Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time.
See you!
Oh God.